Part 14. It's Doomsday, there are all-female zombies around. Author, Yu Da Cha Xiao. Chapter 131. Lu Shi side. Who would have thought that the virus broke out directly on the returning ship? From Lu Shiyao's words, Wang Ran roughly understood. It's just that a research institute that originally studied technologies that benefited mankind suddenly got stuck and started to fiddle with viruses. Moreover, this research institute is likely to be the research institute that studies Little Ada. It seems that Lu Shiyao is very familiar with there. If you have time in the future, you can let Lu Shiyao lead the way and take over the laboratory. Have you almost rested? Let's go. Wang Ran said lightly. Wu Jiaxin supported Lu Shiyao and followed Wang Ran to the outside. In the hall downstairs, Wang Ran saw that the survivors were gobbling up food. It seems that after the awakened died, they got the hidden supplies. Ah! Sir, you are down. Thank you so much for keeping us full. From now on, you will be our new boss. I hope you can protect us. Survivors gathered around to speak. Sorry, I have no plans to stay. As Wang Ran spoke, he walked towards the door. What? All survivors were shocked. They thought that there was a powerful awakener who was powerful and did not like to oppress people. Now he actually said he was leaving? You're gone, what should we do? Yes, you kill all the awakened ones, then slap the and leave, who will protect us? You are going too far. It's better that those people continue to oppress us. Yes, you immoral fellow. Wait, you said you were leaving. You have a way to get off this ship. Take me, take me. Let me do anything. Without protection, we will die if we stay here. These people were still blaming Wang Ran, but when they realized that Wang Ran could leave, they instantly turned into pleadings. Whether you die or not, what does it have to do with me? As Wang Ran spoke, he kicked open the freezer that was blocking the door. This gentleman. If you really want to leave. Can I ask you a favor? We have also fought ordinary zombies, but in the opposite cabin, there are a few guys who are very powerful. If you go, we must be dead. I beg you to help solve the mutant zombies on the opposite side, we will find a way for the rest. The old Captain Fred stood up and said. Wang Ran looked at the old captain. This guy has been kindly reminding himself since he came in just now that he is more qualified to let Wang Ran save him among these survivors. Fred, if you want to go, I can take you. However, I can only take you to a certain island, and it is impossible to take you back to land. Wang Ran looked at Fred and said. After all, on the plane back, I have to exercise with Tang Tang, and it is inconvenient to bring a man. No. This is my ship, and I intend to die here. Fred smiled wryly. He's been on this ship for 20 years and has feelings. If you can die here, it is also a good home. Hey, he doesn't want to go, we want to go. Yes, yes, take us. The other survivors suddenly gathered around. Whoever comes near me, I cut whoever. Wang Ran shook the blood roar in his hand. The survivors were obviously afraid, and immediately gave up a distance. This person has just killed a few awakened ones, and killing them is also a matter of raising his hand. Okay, I'll help you get rid of the powerful ones. The rest is up to you. Wang Ran said to the old Captain Fred. Anyway, when I go back, I have to pass the front cabin, kill a few zombies, and just drop by. After speaking, Wang Ran opened the door and took Wu Jiaxin and Lu Shiyao to the front cabin. With the help of Wu Jiaxin, Lu Shiyao walked more and more steadily. Looking at the corpse on the middle deck, Lu Shiyao felt nauseated. After a few days of sun exposure, the smell on the deck does have, point. Suddenly, a figure jumped out of the pool and rushed towards Lu Shiyao. Lu Shiyao was shocked. This speed is not like ordinary zombies. It's a mutant zombie. No, Everyone, run. Lu Shiyao opened her hands to block Wu Jiaxin. It's too late to run back now? Sister, don't worry. Give it to me. Wu Jiaxin flashed in front of Lu Shiyao and split the mutant zombie's head in half with an axe. Immediately afterwards, Wu Jiaxin kicked his long legs, and the mutant zombie flew back to the pool. Are you also an awakened? This is about a 1% chance. Lu Shiyao's startled glasses were about to fall off. She's been researching this before. Stimulate human cells through a certain virus, so that human beings can break through the existing limits, which is what people call the awakened. However, years of experiments have shown that less than 10% of people can withstand trace amounts of viruses. In this success, only a few people have the opportunity to awaken. Wang Ran is an awakener, and so is this beautiful sister. Why does it feel like there are awakened people everywhere now? Sister, this virus outbreak is very serious. Some people estimated on the internet that about 90% of the people turned into zombies directly. That sifted out 90%. Isn't it normal that there are many awakened people among the remaining people? Wu Jiaxin found an excuse to explain. Wang Ran's secret has not been entered and he agrees. Of course Wu Jiaxin will not say it casually. Is that so? That makes sense. Lu Shiyao nodded. Those who directly turned into zombies were originally people with low resistance, and they could not become awakened ones. In the remaining 10%, the probability of awakening seems to be really high. Jiaxin, take her out of the cabin with you. Be careful. I'll go inside and meet you at the bow later. Wang Ran ordered. Well, good master. Wu Jiaxin nodded. Owner. Lu Shiyao was secretly taken aback. This title seems to have. This man looks quite decent, why is he still playing this set? Anyway, I wouldn't call him that if I was dead. Wang Ran walked to the hatch of the ship, waved with Wu Jiaxin, and went in with blood roar. Wu Jiaxin took Lu Shiyao along the edge of the boat to the bow. Come on, take this one. Wu Jiaxin found another axe and handed it to Lu Shiyao. Lu Shiyao helped her glasses and took the axe. To be honest, she's pretty good at killing guinea pigs, let her kill zombies. It seems a little difficult. It's better to use your own spray, and a spray can make the zombies' movements temporarily slow down. Too bad the spray ran out while running from the forward cabin to the rear. Can only wait to return to the place where conditions permit and make a little more. The two approached the bow cautiously. Be extra cautious every time you pass the hatch. After a few minutes, the two finally came to the bow deck. And Wang Ran has been waiting there for a long time. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 132. You are too slow. Wang Ran took off his blood-stained shirt, revealing his strong muscles. You've got it all done. Lu Shiyao raised her glasses and asked in surprise. It's only a few minutes. Just kidding. One golden pupil mutant zombie, a dozen ordinary mutant zombies. One axe one, it's too easy. Wang Ran threw his shirt on the deck. So dirty, there is no need to continue wearing it. Are you still human? After I go back, can I study you? Just let me draw a little of your blood. No, Wang Ran interrupted Lu Shiyao directly. How can someone study the secrets of oneself casually? If it gets out, he could be the target of many organizations. Once you are caught carelessly, then you may become an emotionless XX machine. This will not work. All right. Lu Shiyao sighed. This kind of thing cannot be forced. It's good to be able to go back alive. The lab doesn't know if it's still intact. The three came to the bow. A thick rope connects the small yacht below. Tang Tang saw Wang Ran appear and waved happily. She was bored to death. While waiting for Wang Ran, she hammered away more than a dozen zombies that jumped off the boat. Hey, if you want to guard the boat, you can't even play games. After waiting for so long, they finally came back. This time, Wang Ran had experience, and he chose the last one to go down. Otherwise you have to get your hair wet again. The three returned to the yacht along the rope. Wang Ran untied the rope, and Tang Tang started the oars. The small yacht gradually moved away from the cruise ship Mary and continued towards the destination. As for the people on the cruise, Wang Ran has already killed the most powerful zombies. If they can't survive like this, they can only blame themselves. Wu Jiaxin took Lu Shiyao to take a bath in the cabin. It is better than nothing, after all, the body is covered in blood. Lu Shiyao put on the dress brought by Wu Jiaxin and looked more energetic. Thank you so much for today. Me and those materials are very important to the country. I will definitely thank you when I go back. Lu Shiyao sat opposite Wang Ran and spoke very seriously. You mean, you have a way to develop a vaccine against the virus? Wang Ran asked directly. It can only be said that with the equipment and conditions in good condition, I am confident that it will be developed. These do not involve details, and Lu Shiyao has nothing to hide. That's pretty good. Wang Ran nodded. If a vaccine can be developed, it won't be long before the world returns to some simple order. I can play online games again in a few years at least. Where are we going now? Are you going back to land? Lu Shiyao asked curiously. We're going to get some supplies first. Don't worry, I'll bring you back to land later. But you have to be mentally prepared. The current world, tisk tisk tisk. Wang Ran smiled. Now that even some basic urban facilities have stopped, it is hard to say whether the laboratory can continue to operate. Soon, Wang Ran saw the shadow of an island not far away. There should be the base of the Black Sand mercenary group. Tang Tang slowly let the yacht dock on the dock. My work is over at last. Tang Tang excitedly carried the bag and carried the box ashore. Then you don't need her to drive the boat, you can play to your heart's content. As Wang Ran walked, he looked at the island. Aside from the docks, runways and other facilities, the island looks quite primitive. It seems that the Black Sand mercenary group has not recruited people to build it. That's right, the secret base, it's enough secret. If you want quality of life, the small island in Southeast Asia has a very developed tourism industry, which one is uncomfortable to live in. Soon, Wang Ran found the Mi-26 transport helicopter parked on the tarmac. Man, it's so big. A car can be plugged directly into it. With this guy, it will be much more convenient to go out and sweep supplies in the future. Master, I'll go look at the flight manual first and study the cockpit. Wu Jiaxin said hello to Wang Ran, and consciously ran into the helicopter. Wang Ran and Tang Tang searched for black sand supplies on the island. Lu Shiyao thought about it, but chose to follow Wang Ran. After all, the sense of security will be stronger. There are not many buildings on the island. Wang Ran directly found the materials displayed on the pad in a bungalow. Hundreds of kilograms of gold, thousands of cans, and a lot of tobacco and alcohol. Needless to say, gold is hard currency. Canned food has a long shelf life and is very valuable in exchange. Foreign tobacco and foreign alcohol are also liked by many people. Wang Ran nodded in satisfaction. The value of these things is really not bad. Come on, move to the plane. Wang Ran ordered. None of these things are left, they all have to be shipped back. There seems to be no means of transport on the island, only an electric tricycle. Wang Ran and Tang Tang moved things onto the electric tricycle. Let me help too. Lu Shiyao took the initiative to step forward. Lu Shiyao was shocked when she saw Tang Tang easily pick up 2 bags containing 100 caddies of gold. Aren't you also an awakened? Lu Shiyao stepped forward and pinched Tang Tang's arm. It feels quite normal, where does she get so much strength? Oh, our base is all awakened. Even the dog is awake. Tang Tang said calmly. The dogs are awake. Lu Shiyao froze in place. Is it because you don't know enough about the research results? Why does it sound like awakening is as simple as washing your hair? Even the dogs. In just over a week, is there already such a fast awakening speed on land? No. I have to study them well. Lu Shiyao muttered silently in her heart. A base is full of awakens, this is definitely not normal. There must be some reason I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with my own research. When you go back, contact the lab and ask them to send someone over to pick you up. During this time, I stayed in Wang Ran's base first, looking for opportunities to study them. Just do it. Lu Shiyao made a decision in her heart, and then helped carry the supplies. After 5 trucks were transported, all the supplies were successfully transported to the plane. Master, I have already checked. This plane was designed by Mazi, the mechanical structure is relatively simple, and I can fly with an assistant. In addition, there are still about 2/3 of the fuel in the fuel tank. At present, the load is not much, and it is no problem to fly 1,000 kilometers. Wu Jiaxin came to the cabin to report. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 133. Wang Ran nodded. 1,000 kilometers, can go out several times. But then you have to find a way to find fuel. Although this Mi-26 is powerful, it consumes too much fuel. If it was placed in the past, it would be impossible to support it without mines at home. And the gasoline in the ordinary gas station is not enough, so you have to use aviation fuel. When the gas is running out, go to the airport and have a look. It is estimated that in this environment, the fuel reserves at the airport should not have a chance to be used, so I should be able to loot it. I want to rest, that new big sister, go to the cockpit to help Sister Jiaxin. Tang Tang rolled his eyes and said. All right. Lu Shiyao nodded. She knows some Russian, so she can really help out a bit. Soon, the Mi-26 flew steadily under the operation of Wu Jiaxin. According to its speed, it takes less than an hour to return to Donghu Island. During the flight, Tang Tang approached Wang Ran very naturally. I saw Tang Tang lifted the skirt and bit the skirt with her small mouth, and the pink fat time was directly exposed in front of Wang Ran. This time, Tang Tang's fat is a bit tight, and the roots of the round thighs are very tight, making the thighs more sensual. At this time, a watermark had already appeared at the bottom of the fat time. Needless to say, you know what Tang Tang is thinking. Hey, and there are outsiders. Wang Ran was stunned. Lu Shiyao, I'm afraid she has never experienced such a thing. It's okay, she's in the cockpit and can't see it. Tang Tang showed greedy eyes. At the same time, Tang Tang sat directly on Wang Ran's thigh, and the wet little seam withstood Wang Ran's small tent. In heaven, she really wanted to try it. Okay, I'll take a rest, you can do it yourself. Wang Ran said and lay back. Tang Tang smiled proudly, supported Wang Ran's lower abdomen with both hands, and rubbed Wang Ran's small tent with his own slit. Soon, the small tent turned into a large tent, soaring into the sky. Tang Tang grabbed Wang Ran's waistband and took off his outer pants and underwear together. The huge pillar suddenly jumped out and swayed in front of Tang Tang. Zi Lu. Tang Candy leaned over and took the pillar into his mouth. Before a few sucks, Tang Tang's own little fat time was completely soaked. Uncle, I can't bear it anymore, let's stop fussing. Tang Tang said and pulled the fat time to the side, revealing a small pink slit. The small seam was precisely and skillfully reached to the mouth of the pillar. Swallow it whole. No buffering at all. Hi, ah. Tang Tang first frowned slightly in pain, and then was immediately dizzy by the huge pleasure. The first time, it is very exciting. The position of the female superior allows the pillar to easily withstand the uterine opening. Tang Tang couldn't resist, and had to lift his body slightly with his hands. However, she was a little soft-handed by this push, and she accidentally slipped both hands. Another stab in the end. Tang Tang rolled his eyes directly, his tongue hung on the corner of his mouth, and his saliva kept dripping. Big, uncle, why are you growing a little longer? Ha ha. Tang Tang twisted back and forth while muttering randomly. The puff-puff sound gradually turned into a puff-puff sound. In the channel of Tang Tang, not only the water flows into a river, but also a lot of air is poured into it. Uncle, I can't stand this pose. Still, let's get in later. Tang Tang hid back, and the pillar was pulled out. A jet of water followed, pouring on the pillars. Tang Tang's body was soft, and he turned around directly. His round buttocks were raised high, but his upper body was tightly attached to the ground. Only a soft waist can make this movement so perfect. Wang Ran sat up, lifted the skirt up, grabbed Tang Tang's two buttocks with both hands, and kneaded it gently. At this time, the was already very slippery, and it was full of Tang Tang's body fluids. Wang Ran stretched forward with both hands, pinched Tang Tang's waist, and the top of the pillar also pressed against the smooth and hairless slit of Tang Tang. The thick pillar slowly pushed open the small slit, and squeezed into the passage together with the fleshy wings. Wang Ran stabbed to the end without reservation. Tang Tang, who was attached to the ground, was shocked, and the tips of his toes hooked up unconsciously. This posture seems to be more unbearable than the upper position. Unfortunately, it is too late to regret. Wang Ran launched a fierce attack on Tang Tang. Every time it goes straight to the depths, it touches the soul of Tang Tang. Tang Tang weakly tapped the floor, and the saliva has flowed into a large pool. At this time, apart from enjoying herself, she has no power to resist. Soon, the first came. Tang Tang's whole body trembled slightly. The pleasure of the first has not completely dissipated, and the second is followed closely. Under the wave of climaxes, Tang Tang's expression was a little distorted. In the cockpit, Lu Shiyao suddenly felt that something was wrong with the plane. Hey, Sister Jiaxin, do you feel that the plane is vibrating abnormally? Lu Shiyao asked. Oh, this is normal. It's okay, don't worry. Wu Jiaxin was comforted. Of course she knew what was shaking her. So envious. Thinking of this, Wu Jiaxin was suddenly shocked. It seems that after going back, I have to run naked for 3 laps. How to do? So tangled. I'm not in the mood to shake things up. After 20 minutes, the shaking was over. Not long after, Tang Tang came to the cockpit tremblingly. Sister Jiaxin, can you open the rear hatch? Tang Tang asked with a blushing face. Open the rear hatch. What do you want to do? Wu Jiaxin seemed to have guessed something and was shocked. Oh, I just want to experience it. Don't worry, we have fixed the supplies with net ropes and won't lose them. We have safety ropes tied to us. Tang Tang's eyes were full of yearning. All right. Wu Jiaxin sighed. I'm so envious, what should I do? I want to experience it myself. It seems that she can only have a chance to experience it by finding someone after she goes back and teaching her to fly a helicopter. Hey. Wu Jiaxin sighed and unlocked the rear hatch. Okay, you can open it by operating it yourself. Wu Jiaxin looked at Tang Tang enviously. That's great. Thank you, Miss Jiaxin. Tang Tang happily returned to the cabin. Hey, what is she talking about? Why can't I understand? Why do you need to open the rear hatch? Lu Shiyao looked blank. They want to blow it off. Wu Jiaxin can only explain it like this. Wang Ran leaned against the hatch with a helpless expression on his face. He was also shocked by the unrestrained idea of Tang Tang. You know, this is a few kilometers high in the sky. If you hang it in the air, the pressure and temperature will be unbearable. However, as awakened, they can bear it. Just try it. Wang Ran hugged Tang Tang and opened the hatch. The huge air current rolled them out instantly. The two were just hanged behind by the helicopter. Wang Ran and Tang Tang were just hanged in the air. There was a thick layer of cloud around them, and the passing of the cloud layer made them both soaked in an instant. Uncle! I'm wet! Tang Tang shouted loudly. What? Can't hear. Wang Ran responded. The wind was howling, and I couldn't hear what the other party was shouting at all. Tang Tang grabbed Wang Ran's hand and put it on himself. Wang Ran understood that Tang Tang meant that he was wet. Immediately afterwards, Tang Tang grabbed Wang Ran's hand and stretched it out. Below, wet too. I don't know if it was just wet, or if it was a battle left over from the previous battle. Since there is no way to communicate by voice, the two can only use actions. Four hands groped for each other. The two were hung in the air, and the temperature on their bodies dropped very low. However, both of them are awakened people, and this low temperature will not cause harm to them. Wang Ran's cold fingers reached into Tang Tang's skirt and approached the pink seam. What? Tang Tang's hot channel was suddenly inserted by a cold finger, which made her suddenly open the valve of excitement. No wonder some people like to play with ice and fire, this touch is so addicting. Wang Ran's fingers slid back and forth in the channel of Tang Tang. Soon, the hot liquid continued to flow out. The passage became extremely slippery. Wang Ran's fingers were warmed by Tang Tang's passage, which made Tang Tang a little depressed. She also wants icy thrills. Of course Wang Ran understood Tang Tang's mind, so he directly changed his hand and continued to let the ice and fire blend in the passage. This strong contrast stimulus made Tang Tang quickly vent. A large amount of liquid was sprayed in the air and merged into the clouds. While Tang Tang was twitching, his little hand was not idle. The icy little hand grasped Wang Ran's hot pillar. Even against the cold wind, the pillar is still strong and hot. Tang Tang turned over and turned upside down, two long white and tender legs hooked Wang Ran's neck, and brought his pink and tender seam to Wang Ran's mouth. At the same time, Tang Tang's small mouth also came to Wang Ran's pillar. Boom! Tang Tang kissed on the head of the pillar. Cold lips pressed against the fiery pillar. Immediately afterwards, Tang Tang opened his small mouth, stuck out his tongue to the head of the pillar, and slowly took the pillar into his mouth. The temperature of the column made Tang Tang feel a lot warmer. Her eyes began to blur, and her saliva secreted more and more. The pillars went in and out of her mouth. Drumming in the throat, inserted very deep. And the pink meat seams of Tang Tang also began to open and close, emitting hot air. Wang Ran lowered his head and licked his tongue lightly on the small slit. Tang Tang was shocked. She could never resist the feeling of her tongue rubbing against the slit. The tip of Wang Ran's tongue slid back and forth across the small slit, and suddenly, it slammed into the small slit. The fiery tongue made Tang Tang tensed up, and there seemed to be a suction in the small slit, which wanted to Wang Ran's tongue in. The tongue avoided the abyss, resting on the beanie above the small slit. This P is the most sensitive part of Tang Tang's body. Wang Ran ruthlessly slides his tongue left and right on Daodu. The strong pleasure made Tang Tang in the cough violently. The pleasure, so strong. Tang Tang feels that his lower body is like a huge wave is coming. Boom! Tang Tang lost his mind instantly. A large amount of liquid was sprayed out like a water arrow. A wave. Another wave. The water arrow directly hit Wang Ran's face. Wang Ran had to block in front of him with his hands. Soon, Wang Ran's hands were covered with slippery liquid. These are Tang Tang's masterpieces. Wang Ran stretched his slippery hand behind the small slit. There was a small pink hole that was squirming slightly. Wang Ran's fingers drilled into it. Tang Tang trembled violently again. "Uncle, I can't do it. I want a meat stick." Tang Tang turned over, straightened his body, and wrapped his legs directly around Wang Ran's waist. Small pink slits are aligned with the pillars. "Oops. Slip it off, it's gone." Because the two of them were hanging under the plane, they swayed violently in the wind, and it was really not easy to get in if they were impatient. Tang Tang was in a hurry, and directly held the pillar with his small hand and stuck it to the small slit. In. The thick and hot post went in. Tang Tang's eyes instantly stared at the boss. This hot post is much more powerful than fingers. Tang Tang felt like his lower body was stuffed into a red-hot iron rod. The whole body started to heat up. Wang Ran's hand dragged Tang Tang's two buttocks and began to thrust in and out. Gradually, both of them got used to the rhythm of swinging in the wind. Pushing and inserting became more comfortable. The icy cold wind and the scalding pillar made Tang Tang sink. She felt like a little with a head full of pillars. She just wants to be filled with joy. Tang Tang unconsciously held his fingers. She imagined that this was Wang Ran's pillar. Ah! If only uncle could plug me under and my mouth at the same time. Tang Tang's vague vision arrived. Soon, Tang Tang reached a climax again. She didn't have the strength to scream. After the climax again and again, Wang Ran also ushered in an explosion. The hot magma poured into Tang Tang's body violently. Tang Tang tightly clamped Wang Ran's waist with his legs, and sucked it with all his strength, for fear of missing a little bit of essence. After calming down for a while, the two climbed back to the aircraft cabin along the rope. "Uncle, I can't do it." Tang Tang flushed cheeks and collapsed in the cabin. Between her open legs, a white liquid flowed out. Unfortunately, Tang Tang has no strength to stop these liquids. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 134. When it was time for dinner, Lu Shiyao was even more shocked. The long table was filled with all kinds of sumptuous food. Steaks, lamb chops, grilled chicken, brisket with potatoes, paella, lobster baked with cheese. Is this the standard of food in the end times? How do you feel better than usual? Lu Shiyao wondered if the world really collapsed as Wang Ran said. What are you doing, eating? Wang Ran directly threw a whole roast chicken onto Lu Shiyao's plate. Lu Shiyao swallowed her saliva. She didn't eat well for 2 days, she was really hungry. No matter what, eat first. Lu Shiyao directly held the roast chicken and ate it. So fragrant. After the meal, Lu Shiyao found Wang Ran. "Dad, I found out that my phone and internet were gone. Do you have a satellite phone here? Lend it to me." Lu Shiyao touched her round belly and said. "The phone is there. However, look, I rescued you and borrowed your satellite phone. In terms of expenses, does the country want to express itself?" Wang Ran asked with a smile. "Oh, don't worry. As long as you can contact the organization, we will definitely give you a suitable return." Lu Shiyao hiccuped. "Eat a little more." Wang Ran made a gesture to the girls in the flight attendant class, and soon someone brought a satellite phone. Lu Shiyao nodded gratefully, took the phone and called. After a while, Lu Shiyao frowned and walked to Wang Ran's side. "What, can't find the organization?" Wang Ran touched his chin. If Lu Shiyao wasn't picked up sooner, he would have an extra mouth to eat. Once in and out, the loss is huge. I contacted Baidu just now. In China, there are 2 large biological research institutes in the north and the south. This one in the south is said to have fallen. The northern one is still there. However, recently, Baidu is concentrating on regaining lost ground, and plans to build a city-level survivor base in Baidu. They don't have anyone to pick me up at the moment. In the south, it is estimated that the temperature is high, and the virus evolves and spreads quickly, so the situation is much more serious than in the north. Some troops and local departments are still too busy. Looks like, I'll have to stay with you for a while. Lu Shiyao was a little embarrassed. Wang Ran sighed, as expected. It seems that there is really more to eat rice. It's okay to let Lu Shiyao stay, but she has to play a role. She is a biological researcher. Biology. Hey. That's right. Do you know anything about plants? Wang Ran's eyes lit up. I was just planning to fiddle with these mutant vegetables. Maybe Lu Shiyao is the most suitable candidate. After all, he is a researcher. Plants? Understand a little. In terms of plant cells, I have also been exposed to it for 2 years. Lu Shiyao replied. She faintly felt that Wang Ran seemed to want to squeeze her own labor force. Almost. You come with me. Wang Ran brought Lu Shiyao to his mutant vegetable garden. As soon as she got close, Lu Shiyao couldn't close her mouth in shock. All the vegetables grow very strange. In addition to the size, the shape is also very strange. A tomato the size of a watermelon. Split-forked, arm-thick cucumbers. Pumpkins with flat and large wheels. These vegetables are divided according to the degree of regional variation, forming a very sharp contrast. You cultivated these. Lu Shiyao suddenly became interested. As a biological researcher, she has been studying the effects of viruses on living things. However, the previous focus was on animals and people. Seeing these vegetables now, Lu Shiyao's work enthusiasm was suddenly inspired. I water the vegetables here with different concentrations of zombie blood. Divided into different areas according to different concentrations. The fruits that grow here, the awakened ones should be able to improve their strength after eating them. But at the moment I don't dare to give them food directly, and we still need to continue research. Look, since you're staying here, you can't eat rice, right? The task of researching and cultivating these vegetables is left to you, how about it? Wang Ran said straight to the point. If these vegetables can master the best cultivation methods, they are simply treasures in the apocalypse. Just imagine, the vegetables you grow in batches can not only be used as food, but also enhance your strength. The rhythm of the richest man in the Doomsday world. No problem. I can do it. Lu Shiyao nodded. This is her area of expertise. Moreover, it is indeed necessary to eat other people's food, live in other people's, and do some work by yourself. However, I need some laboratory equipment. The most basic petri dishes, microscopes, test tubes, glass needles, etc. There are also centrifuges, and certain reagents are best to get some. I don't know that these things are not complete in universities. Biological companies or laboratories should have them. Ah, that's right. The National Biological Laboratory in the south seems to be in J City next door. More than 200 kilometers away. Although that side has fallen, there should still be a lot of experimental equipment that can be used. It's inconvenient for you to visit Fang and bring back everything you need. Lu Shiyao suggested. No problem. Now that we have the Mi-26 transport plane, it is estimated that we can bring everything back in one trip. Well, you can go to J City with me tomorrow, and you can say what you want, and we will vacate the laboratory directly for it. Wang Ran smiled. This fooled a chief vegetable officer. It seems that his mutant fruit and vegetable planting plan can be smoothly advanced. After visiting the vegetable garden, Wang Ran asked Lin Momo to arrange a villa for Lu Shiyao. Sister Shiyao, remember to close the door of the room when you go to bed at night. Otherwise there may be some noises that affect your sleep. Lin Momo reminded. Okay. Lu Shiyao nodded. The treatment here is really good. If it weren't for the fact that she still had the task of the country, she really wanted to stay here and not leave. Let's live here for a while, and when the large survivor base in the northern capital is established, the country should be able to recruit people to pick it up. Lu Shiyao suddenly thought of the USB flash drive and the box containing the medicine. This thing needs to be brought back quickly. Virus research information is all in the U-disk. In the box is the initial version of the antiviral vaccine that I risked to get from the Research Institute, which is the key to researching vaccines. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 135. As soon as Lu Shiyao walked out of the villa, she saw Wu Jiaxin running naked with her body covered. Is this a special ceremony? Lu Shiyao was a little confused. Oh, it's like this, everyone who joins our base has to go through this process. Tang Tang fooled around. What? Do I want it too? Lu Shiyao felt that she was shocked more times today than in her entire life. The image of the steady Yuja is a bit unbearable. Well, yes, we've all been running around streaking like this. Also, as long as you finish streaking and do a special ceremony, you can become an awakened person. Tang Tang continued to flicker. After listening to Tang Tang's words, Lu Shiyao's heart was like a storm. Everyone here is awakened. Could it really be the effect of this strange ritual? Lu Shiyao's knowledge reserve and scientific literacy made her unbelievable. But the people here are really strong, not even the dogs. Anyway, I won't run naked anyway. I won't run naked if you kill me. While muttering, Lu Shiyao walked to Wang Ran's villa. Tang Tang covered his mouth and snickered in the back. She always feels that this big sister will be really fragrant one day. Soon, Wu Jiaxin ran naked. Although the process is shameful, the little friends still take good care of her. All the lights on the whole island were turned off, and everyone else hid when Wu Jiaxin ran. This reduced Wu Jiaxin's shame a lot. Tang Tang picked up the bathrobe and handed it to Wu Jiaxin, who had just finished running. Thank you, Tang Tang. Thanks to Wu Jiaxin. We went out together today, and the relationship between Wu Jiaxin and Tang Tang has also improved a lot. Correct. You guys on the plane, how was the experience? Wu Jiaxin couldn't help it anymore, and asked secretly in a low voice. Although she has experienced what it's like to be on a boat, her favorite is the plane. On the plane, I dream of trying it. To be honest, it wasn't too bad in the cabin. That time outside. A little cold. Tang Tang stuck out his tongue. It took me a while to think of this strange way of playing. The snot was frozen. I heard that uncle's eggs are freezing. Ah, that's right. Are you interested in learning to fly a helicopter? It's fun. And it's not hard, like playing a flight sim. Wu Jiaxin encouraged it. If Tang Tang learned to fly a plane, wouldn't he be able to experience the experience in the sky and fulfill his dream? Okay. I've wanted to learn it for a long time. Let's go, Sister Jiaxin, take me with you. Tang Tang took Wu Jiaxin's hand to the cockpit of the Mi-26. Wu Jiaxin seriously began to teach Tang Tang the steps to open a helicopter. Wang Ran was playing Civilization 6 in the villa, and Lu Shiyao knocked on the door of the villa. Little Ada ran over to open the door and brought Lu Shiyao in. You can give me that U-disc and metal box now. Lu Shiyao put on a professional attire, a pair of long legs wearing thin black silk, and high heels under her feet. No way, this set is the most suitable for her style on the island. She still likes to wear the white lab coat of the institute the most. Take it. Wang Ran pointed to the coffee table. Everything is there. Of course, the contents of the USB flash drive had been copied by Wang Ran. Wang Ran also hacked one of the 3 vaccines in the metal box. It's not that Wang Ran is interested in these things, he just wants to keep a backup. What if it is valuable in the future? Lu Shiyao put away the USB flash drive and opened the metal box to take a look. Hey, why is one missing? Lu Shiyao frowned. Although one less has little impact on research, this is a vaccine that has a chance to make people return to normal after all. It is very precious in this world. Oh, I broke one earlier in a fight on the boat. Very reasonable, right? Wang Ran continued to play the game. Lu Shiyao was stunned for a while. Wang Ran's statement was too reasonable, and she couldn't refute it at all. Well, Wang Ran rescued her and brought her things back. Even if he cheated on one, let him be. Get up early tomorrow and leave on time at 9 in the morning. Wang Ran reminded. Tomorrow, I'm going to J City to move experimental equipment. Understood. Ah yes. I heard Sister Tang Tang say. 3 laps streaking on this island, and you will become an awakened. Is this real? She knew it was unscientific, but Lu Shiyao couldn't help it, so she asked Wang Ran directly. Wang Ran laughed when he heard it. Tang Tang loves to play too much, use this to make fun of people. You see, scientists have been dubious. Yes. This island has a magical power. You can try it if you don't believe it. Wang Ran didn't think it was a big deal. I don't even try. Lu Shiyao raised her eyebrows slightly. After so many years of compulsory education and the combination of master and doctoral studies, all I have learned is science. How can you believe this? Okay, I'll go first. Lu Shiyao hugged the metal box tightly and left the villa. After Lu Shiyao left, little Ada got into Wang Ran's arms, and her little head kept rubbing and rubbing. Big brother, the things in my body have recovered a lot. Would you like to keep coming? Asked little Ada. Is that so? All right. Wang Ran nodded. His own strength is almost enough to break through. Just to go out tomorrow, strength is always a good thing. Wang Ran stretched out his hand and placed it in front of little Ada. Big brother, I want your blood too. Little Ada said with big eyes. She has heard other sisters say that Wang Ran's blood is effective. My blood. Wang Ran was stunned. The last time Xiao Ada came into contact with her saliva, she grew a few centimeters taller overnight, faster than leaks. If I give her some more blood, I'm afraid it will be out of control. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 136. Wang Ran thought for a while calmly. It doesn't seem to hurt that little Ada grows up, maybe her appetite will increase. Moreover, her ability feel like natural complements. It's no wonder that when little Ada sees herself, she feels very kind. Okay, but you have to drink less. Wang Ran found a knife and cut open his palm. Blood spilled. Little Ada came over directly and stuck out her tongue to lick Wang Ran's blood. After eating for a while, little Ada put her palm on Wang Ran's hand. A liquid containing a high concentration of the original virus flowed into Wang Ran's wound. Both of them felt their bodies start to heat up quickly. Not good. Wang Ran was worried that his power burst was too strong and accidentally injured little Ada. Little Rain Momo. Come in. Wang Ran yelled at the outside. Su Xiao and Lin Momo immediately jumped over the wall and ran in. Momo, take little Ada to the next door. Xiao, you have good stamina, stay and help me. Wang Ran was trembling all over, and he spoke quickly and gave orders. Momo and Xiao saw Wang Ran like this and knew that the situation was urgent. Momo immediately picked up little Ada and ran to the empty villa next to her. Xiao jumped into the pool with Wang Ran in his arms. The cold pool water didn't let Wang Ran lower the temperature. The water around him was starting to warm up. Suzaiyao hugged Wang Ran, feeling the fiery temperature and fiery breath. Huh, huh. Wang Ran's eyes were bloodshot, and his whole body was extremely hot. This power is too violent. He needs to vent. Need to vent. Wang Ran's eyes were red, and he grabbed the clothes behind Suzaiyao and ripped it violently. Suzaiyao's clothes and underwear were torn apart by Wang Ran. At the same time, there were several blood stains behind Suzaiyao. Wang Ran's hand was too heavy, and he didn't take into account Suzaiyao's feelings at all. Now Wang Ran can't control himself at all. Wang Ran's hot hand directly climbed onto Suzaiyao's firm chest. The round and bouncy little white rabbit was grabbed and kneaded by Wang Ran. Soon, several wounds appeared on the little white rabbit. Wang Ran's fingernails pierced directly into the flesh. Suzaiyao's chest hurt, but she didn't snort, but brought the little white rabbit on the other side to Wang Ran's mouth. Wang Ran breathed hot air from his nostrils and took the pink into his mouth. Suzaiyao couldn't bear the pain, but couldn't bear the sensitive stimulation. The hot temperature in Wang Ran's mouth directly made the seam to be wrapped in fire. Somewhere in Suzaiyao's body was instantly soaked. However, the crazy Wang Ran was not as sympathetic and cherishing as usual. After he grabbed Suzaiyao's nipple, he rubbed his teeth at. Intense pain and pleasure are intertwined, but Suzaiyao is a little bit like to die. Just when Suzaiyao was worried that her was about to be bitten off, Chen Yang suddenly let go. Huh? Master, don't you want it? Suzaiyao asked blushing. Do not want? How could Wang Ran not want it at this time? He can't stand it anymore. This kind of foreplay, just skip it. Chen Yang reached out and grabbed Suzaiyao's neck, and slammed her head against the edge of the swimming pool. Suzaiyao's head was a little dizzy, but she did not forget to pout her round buttocks. Wang Ran started directly and tore off Suzaiyao's skirt and panties. Binan's round was directly in front of Wang Ran. The pink fleshy seam was looming on the water. Wang Ran stretched out his hand and tore it, his trousers were also torn. The 30-centimeter long meat stick broke out of the water, and there was fog on it, which showed that the temperature was not unusually high. Suzaiyao's head was held down, but out of the corner of his eye he caught sight of the meat stick behind him. Too thick. Did it get longer again? Suzaiyao's heart trembled slightly. It's so long and thick, I don't know if I can handle it. Wang Ran didn't stop at all, he held the meat stick and pushed it directly to the seam of the meat. As soon as it was posted, Wang Ran jumped forward abruptly. The whole root is not in. Suzaiyao's pupils trembled violently. To die. It's almost to the stomach. Didn't it all go in little by little before? It's too rough this time. The dizziness in Suzaiyao's mind became stronger and stronger. In just one click, she showed signs of fainting. Of course, Wang Ran will not be the only one. He was like a beast out of the cage, slamming into Suzaiyao's frantically. The scalding meat column filled the channel, making a constant poof sound. Suzaiyao lost all her strength and was completely unable to resist, her body was constantly hit by Wang Ran, and her eyes were only blank. Wang Ran released the hand that grabbed Suzaiyao's neck, and put both hands on Suzaiyao's waist. Only by holding onto the waist can it be inserted more fiercely. Fool! Wang Ran stabbed Suzaiyao deeply with all his strength again and again. In less than a minute, Suzaiyao twitched. The climax did not come unexpectedly. But Wang Ran didn't stop. The thrusting showed no sign of slowing down, but instead became more violent. While Suzaiyao's passage was sprayed with water, Wang Ran was holding it full. Wang Ran's hand was not idle, and while inserting it, he slapped Suzaiyao's hard. The originally white and tender was directly red and swollen from the beating. Suzaiyao gritted her teeth, tears in her eyes, and silently endured all this. Not pain. It's so cool. The usual Wang Ran is too gentle, and now he is called a real man. Su Xiao was so cool that he almost lost consciousness. 10 minutes later, with Wang Ran's roar, the water in the entire swimming pool exploded. Su Xiao fainted directly. Wang Ran didn't stop and started the second time. After 2 hours, Wang Ran finally regained his senses. With apology, Wang Ran hugged Su Xiao onto the bed. This time the strength was promoted, and some could not control it. Xiao suffered. Wang Ran felt very sorry. At this time, Wang Ran seemed to have just peeled off his skin, and his whole body was extremely smooth. The impurities of the epidermis are all gone. Some old wounds disappeared completely. Even the palms that had just been opened looked like they had never been hurt. Wang Ran realized that he seemed to have broken through the limits of human beings. This strength, it is estimated that ordinary awakened people cannot achieve it. I really want to test my strength. Wang Ran looked around, and his eyes fell on the refrigerator. Forget it, let it go. The current refrigerator can no longer withstand Wang Ran's fist. Looking for another way. Wang Ran suddenly had a crazy idea in his mind. Wang Ran put on his clothes and went to the arsenal to get a less powerful domestic Type 77 pistol. He was going to try his hand at carrying a gun. It's a bit risky, but worth a try. Now his strength is melee, no one can match. But if you encounter enemies with guns, it's hard to say. Although Chinese people are not allowed to carry guns, as time goes on, if any survivors find the weapons depots of the army or police station, it will be hard to say. If you can handle the gun yourself, you don't have to worry about anything. Wang Ran wanted to find someone to try, and after turning around, he happened to meet Tang Tang and Wu Jiaxin, who came out of the helicopter. Tang Tang, you are just right here. This is where you shoot the most accurately. Take this gun and shoot me a few times. Wang Ran stuffed the pistol into Tang Tang's hand. Tang Tang and Wu Jiaxin were stunned. Wang Ran, what happened? Stupid. Don't think so much, I'm measured. Come on, don't aim at the key points. While reminding Wang Ran, he walked 100 meters away. As long as you don't hit the key, even if you are injured, you should be able to recover quickly with your physique. With Tang Tang's marksmanship, it should not be missed. Tang Tang held a gun and was a little nervous. She has experience in being ejaculated, but she has never before. Hey, it's Uncle's task anyway, try it. Tang Tang raised his gun and aimed at Wang Ran's shoulder. Uncle, I'm here. Tang Tang reminded. Hurry up, stop talking nonsense. Wang Ran shouted from the opposite side. Tang Tang stabilized his mentality and pulled the trigger. There was a gunshot, and the bullet was shot at Wang Ran. Wang Ran subconsciously flashed. The bullet passed by. Wang Ran was stunned. Accidentally, instinctively dodged. I don't know if it is because of the stronger strength, Wang Ran's reaction and physical coordination ability are also much stronger. Just by looking at the orientation of the barrel and the changes in Tang Tang's hand muscles, Wang Ran judged the timing of the shot and the angle of the bullet. This time, he escaped. Uncle, you are playing with me. I'm so nervous that you escaped. Tang Tang stomped his feet. Sorry, instinct. Come again. Wang Ran shrugged. The power of this 77 type pistol is small, so there is no need to dodge so cautiously. Soon, Tang Tang fired another shot at Wang Ran. This time, Wang Ran controlled himself not to dodge. The bullet hit Wang Ran's shoulder. Wang Ran felt as if he had been punched, and his body leaned back a little. However, the bullet did not enter Wang Ran's body, but instead flew into the sky. Wang Ran touched his shoulder, but there was only a red mark. The shot just now took a lot of force off the angle, and it didn't take any damage. Wang Ran was not very satisfied. Tang Tang, this time aim at the middle. Wang Ran crossed his arms on his chest as he spoke. He wanted to try taking a hard shot in the front. Tang Tang was a little nervous, but she was still very confident in Wang Ran's strength. After all, when hanging in the air, Wang Ran can magically and steadily exert his strength. "Uncle, be careful, I'm here." Tang Tang aimed at the middle and pulled the trigger. Wang Ran's eyes lit up, his arm slammed hard, and all the muscles in his body were mobilized. Boom! The bullet hit Wang Ran's arm. Wang Ran was shocked and forcibly took the gun down. The bullet did not pierce Wang Ran's skin, but it also smashed a red bruise on Wang Ran's arm. "Call." Wang Ran breathed a sigh of relief. A gun of ordinary power, but so. The power of bullets is mainly caused by the transfer of kinetic energy. With the shot just now, Wang Ran minimized the kinetic energy by relying on his perfect physical fitness. "It's just a punch from Xiao's full strength." Wang Ran smiled. Of course, the power of this gun is actually not as strong as Xiao's full strength punch, but the bullet hits a small area, so the lethality is still stronger than that of a fist. However, this is just an ordinary bullet fired by an ordinary pistol. If it is a hollow-pointed bullet or a dummy bullet, it is estimated that Wang Ran is not very easy to handle. Wang Ran touched the revolver around his waist. "Revolver will not try. Judging from the effect of the 77 type pistol, you will definitely see blood with the revolver. For the time being, I will not continue to abuse myself." Wang Ran went to Tang Tang and the others. "It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around." Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 137. "Uncle, have you become stronger again? I dare to carry bullets with my body." Tang Tang looked envious. The uncle became stronger, indicating that he also has the opportunity to become stronger. It seems to increase the frequency of pushing the uncle a little more. "I know what you're thinking, don't think too much. Come here first today. I'm going out for a flight tomorrow, Jiaxin, rest early." Wang Ran patted Wu Jiaxin's shoulder. Hearing that she ran naked on the island just now, Wang Ran still admired it. "Ah! Uncle, I'm going too. Sister Jiaxin is teaching me to fly. I want to go together and learn in the cockpit." Tang Tang said while holding Wang Ran's arm. "All right." Wang Ran nodded. This trip is estimated to have to move a lot of equipment, and one more person means one more labor force. Seeing Wang Ran agree, Tang Tang jumped up happily. Of course, learning driving skills is important, and more importantly, as long as you go out together, there are always additional benefits. "Sister Jiaxin, let's go, stay with me tonight. I want to ask you more about flying the plane." Tang Tang happily pulled Wu Jiaxin and hopped to the villa. "It's not good to live with you." Wu Jiaxin hesitated. "Oops. For the sake of you teaching me to fly a plane, I'll give you a hint. Little Ada lives in Uncle's villa. Many things are inconvenient, so Uncle will come to my villa every night." Tang Tang is halfway through, but the meaning is already obvious. "Is that so?" Wu Jiaxin was slightly shaken. Having an experience with Wang Ran on the yacht today, she opened a new door. There are so many happy things in the world. Moreover, her strength has also improved a lot. Since there is such an opportunity, it must not be missed. Wu Jiaxin decided to go to the villa with Tang Tang. Not long after, Lin Momo and Wang Ran also came over. The evening buffet time began. "Hey, what about Sister Xiao? Won't she come today?" Tang Tang asked curiously. "Little Rain she. Rest." Wang Ran was slightly embarrassed. "I can't say that I have tossed people into a coma. Hey, Xiao has the best tolerance among all the girls. She just fell into a coma. It seems that she has to restrain herself a little today, LF." The next morning, Wang Ran opened his eyes in his villa. Last night, Tang Tang, Wu Jiaxin, and Lin Momo were all in a coma, and Wang Ran ended the battle early and returned to his villa. Perhaps because of his strength, Wang Ran felt much better when he woke up. Sudden. Wang Ran discovered that there was someone in his bed. From the touch point of view. Not only like Momo, but also a bit like Tang Tang. They got into their bed in the middle of the night? With such a pinch, the girl in the quilt couldn't help but snorted softly. Wang Ran was stunned for a while. This voice was neither like Momo nor Xiao. Wang Ran lifted the quilt a little and saw the golden hair. Blonde. Wang Ran thought about it, and the only blondes on this island were. Wang Ran immediately lifted the quilt and sat up. Brother, are you awake? A blonde, blue-eyed, shirtless girl rubbed her eyes and got into Wang Ran's arms. Little Ada. Wang Ran was completely awake. No, I can't be called Little Aiden now, it's really, not small. Yesterday, I fed her and drank a lot of blood, so she has grown up directly? This effect is too strong. I haven't seen Xiao and Momo develop so well. Could it be that because of the constitution of Ada's original virus, his own blood is particularly effective? Terrible, terrifying. Big brother, hug. Ada hooked Wang Ran's neck as before. It seems that although her body has grown up, her mind has not grown up so fast. This Wang Ran is under a lot of pressure. Especially the pressure of the chest being squeezed. At this time, Lin Momo came to call Wang Ran to get up. As soon as she entered the door, she was stunned. This is... Lin Momo rubbed his eyes. Master, shouldn't this be? Lin Momo immediately thought of a possibility. That's right, it really is. Wang Ran sighed and nodded. I couldn't believe it at first. But the fact is here, there is no way to believe it. Master, are you feeding little Ada something that shouldn't be eaten? Lin Momo crossed his hips, his face full of doubts. She knew why Xiaojing grew so fast before. Could it be that Wang Ran secretly fed little Ada the same thing? That's a bit too much. What are you thinking? Am I that kind of person? Wang Ran glared at Momo. Lin Momo stuck out his tongue. Seems like he's overthinking it a bit. Lin Momo walked into the room and took out some of his clothes. That's why my clothes are the most suitable for Aiden now. Lin Momo felt that if Ada didn't put on her clothes again, something might happen here. After all, Ada, who was blonde and blue-eyed and had a hot body, was envious of Lin Momo. When I was a child, I was so flat, but when I grew up, it actually bulged forward backward. Lin Momo had beaten in the front, but not in the back. It is estimated that Ada's buttocks can be put directly on a cup. Lin Momo helped Ada get dressed quickly. It can be seen that Wang Ran is also relieved. Okay, I have to go out today. Ida will leave it to you, Momo. Take her to get used to it. After Wang Ran finished speaking, he fled. At the dining table by the pool, Wu Jiaxin, Tang Tang, and Lu Shiyao have all finished breakfast. Wang Ran picked up a fried dough stick and 2 eggs. Let's go early and come back early. Xiao, the defense of the base is left to you. Wang Ran said while nibbling on the fried dough sticks. Su Xiao's eyes flickered at Wang Ran, for fear of making eye contact. The experience last night was terrifying, and Su Xiao hasn't fully recovered yet. Su Xiao would not be able to bear it if he suddenly looked right in the eye, or came over once before leaving. However, Su Xiao's strength has improved significantly, and it is estimated that it will not be long before he will be promoted again. Saying goodbye to the girls, Wang Ran boarded the plane with Wu Jiaxin, Tang Tang, and Lu Shiyao. The target this time is J City next door. The Doomsday has come for so long, and Wang Ran has not left the N city except going out to sea. I don't know what the state of other cities is now. Hey, the main reason is that the internet is disconnected, otherwise it would be very good to go to the night forum to see the situation. The roar sounded, and the helicopter flew slowly towards the direction of J City. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 138. In a small room on the second floor of a storefront facing the street, a woman with disheveled hair woke up from a coma. Kids, and my kids. The woman groped around the room. I said, eldest sister, don't look for your child as soon as you wake up. It's been a few days. If I had that, I'd starve to death. A young woman in the corner complained. That's right, let's not let people have a good rest. What time is it? I have to be tossed by those people outside every day. If I don't sleep for a while, I will be exhausted. Hurry up and shut up for me. Another young woman followed suit. They were all captured by a group of survivors. In the beginning, they will also desperately resist. But after knowing the current situation outside, they gradually learn to compromise. At any rate, it's better to have enough to eat and a safe place to stay than to venture out. But these days, this crazy woman is constantly looking for children, making them sleepless and annoying. You must know that they will be tossed until 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening every day, and if they don't sleep until 10 or 11 o'clock, their body can't bear it. My child. Did you hide my child? The mad woman came up to the two young women and tugged at their legs. Hey, don't move your feet. Go away. The young woman kicked the crazy woman away with one kick. When the mad woman fell to the ground, she accidentally hit a rusty nail on the ground. Is she all right? Another young woman was a little worried. Never mind her. Let's sleep with us. The young woman who kicked the person snorted coldly and fell asleep with her head covered. 10 minutes later, both young women fell asleep. They didn't notice that there was a slight click from the corner of the room. The crazy woman sat up slowly. Her pupils were gray. Child. The mad woman staggered to her feet and groped around. Even if she became a zombie, she still maintained the strong obsession before her death. She glanced at the two sleeping young women, and shuffled over. Child. Mad woman tilted her head. The two women seemed a little too big, unlike her children. Will children hide in their bodies? The crazy woman stretched out her hand and ripped open a young woman's chest with her bare hands. The young woman woke up instantly, but she no longer had the strength to scream. The next moment, her heart was plucked off by a mad woman. Child? Not a child. The mad woman looked at her warm heart, and her body instinctively let her smell it. So fragrant. The crazy woman gnawed her heart clean. Then, she looked at another young woman. Will she have her own child in her belly? The mad woman reached out to the young woman. The young woman smelled the blood and opened her eyes in a daze. When she saw a crazy woman with a mouthful of blood, her first reaction was to scream. However, the crazy woman directly squeezed her throat. Crack. The entire throat was pulled straight out. Grumpy grumpy. The young woman was bubbling with blood and water in her mouth, and she soon died. The mad woman stretched out her hand and ripped open the young woman's belly, groping. Still no child of hers. Since I didn't find it, let's eat something first. The crazy woman sat in a pool of blood and ate leisurely. Not long after, there was movement outside the door. A drunk man tried to open the door. Because of his low status, he was assigned to Mad Woman last night, which made him very depressed. Therefore, he wanted to take advantage of the early morning to find these two young women to be happy. However, it might be because he drank so much last night that he couldn't even open the door. Just when he was about to give up, the door suddenly opened a crack. Ha ha ha, this is God's will. Bitch, here I come. The drunk man pushed open the door and took a step inside. A pale face was just in front of him. The man suddenly sobered up. This is zombies. Gray with a little silver pupils, mouth full of blood. It's a zombie. But it may be a mutant zombie. The man opened his mouth to call for help, but the mad woman directly bit his tongue and pulled it out. The man's painful tears and blood rushed together. He wanted to run, but there was no chance. The mad woman tore off his chin with her bare hands, then reached out and took out something mushy in the head. Tasty. Soon, the mad woman came to the stairs. Here lay a dozen or so drunken men. Kids, my kids. The mad woman growled as she walked down the stairs. At this time, someone just opened their eyes and caught sight of the crazy woman. Zombie. There are zombies. The man immediately shouted loudly. All a dozen people who were asleep in the hall were awakened. These days, the word zombie is the best way to wake people up. Grass. It's that crazy woman. Our two girls won't be eaten by her. It looks like it is. Grass, there will be no women in the future. There is no woman to go out to catch, let's kill the zombies first. These survivors took up the weapons around them one after another. The crazy woman jumped gently and came downstairs. Where is my child? The mad woman glanced at the survivors and asked. Boss, this zombie can talk. It looks like a mutant zombie. The survivors suddenly became nervous. You go try it first, said the camp boss with the Mediterranean hairstyle. He and Kuriko are the only awakened in the camp. He must not dare to take risks first, so let the younger brother try it first. Okay, boss, remember to support me. Hazy Eye has long fluttering hair, a naked upper body, two blue dragons tattooed on his back, and a watermelon knife in both hands, which looks like the protagonist of a certain comic book movie. Brother Hiza, come on. Seeing Kuriko's aura, the other survivors instantly gained confidence. Hazy Eye's double knives have hacked to death many zombies, and once singled out a mutant zombie. Amid the cheers of the crowd, Kuriko charged at the mad woman with a knife. Hiza slashed the mad woman's shoulder with a knife. Hiza's eyes lit up, so relaxed. It looks like he can show his prestige again today. Then come to a handsome move to end her. Kuriko wanted to pull out the knife and use a pair of scissors to decapitate, but he was suddenly stunned. The monthly pass seems to be a bit miserable, and it is about to fall out of the list. Please ask for a few chapters of the monthly pass at the end of the month. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 139. Hiza found that his knife was actually stuck, and he couldn't pull it out no matter how hard he tried. In desperation, Hiza could only use another knife to chop off the crazy woman's head. It's not important to be chic or anything, safety first. When Kuriko's knife was in the air, the mad woman suddenly shot. The sharp claws directly penetrated Kuriko's chest. Kuriko looked down in shock. That's right, the opponent's arm was inserted into his body, and only the elbow could be seen. The crazy woman pulled out her hand, and Kuriko fell to the ground. An awakened was killed just like that. All the survivors present panicked, and Kuriko was instantly killed by her, and she must be dead. Boss, it's up to you, boss. Yes, you are the only awakened here, it's up to you. Boss, don't you have a gun? Hurry up and clean her up. The survivors shrank behind the Mediterranean. Mediterranean face twitched. Gun. His gun is fake. If it weren't for this fake gun, the boss of the camp might have had the turn of the younger Sunspot. In this situation, isn't it self-defeating to pull out a fake gun? Mediterranean didn't have time to think about it, and when he drew his gun, he pretended to accidentally drop it on the ground. Oops, the gun dropped. Whoever picks it up and kills that zombie, said the Mediterranean and stepped back. Survivors around were all rushing to pick up the gun. After all, in this case, it is more secure to have a gun in hand. A strong man pushed the crowd away and picked up the gun. At this time, the crazy woman has come to them. Die! Smelly zombies! The strong man aimed at the crazy woman's head and pulled the trigger. A thin jet of water spurted out, shooting the crazy woman in the face. Everyone was stunned, including the mad woman. Water gun? What's wrong with the boss using a water gun to fool people? Looking back again, the Mediterranean was desperately removing the cabinet that blocked the door. He is trying to escape. The strong man with the gun was directly cool. What followed was a one-sided massacre. None of these survivors were the opponents of the mad woman, and they were all easily killed in seconds. Bleed all over the place. The Mediterranean did not dare to look back, and was still desperately moving cabinets there. In order to block the door when they went to bed at night, they moved a lot of cabinets to block the door. Now it has become an obstacle to his escape. Suddenly, Mediterranean felt the hairs on his back stand up. He dared not turn his head. A few strands of black hair had drifted to his face. Don't think about it, the mad woman is sticking to him right behind him. Where is my child? A hoarse voice rang in the Mediterranean ear. Kid, child. There. Mediterranean did not dare to look back, and pointed to a corner behind him with his finger. The mad woman grabbed the few hairs in the Mediterranean and dragged him to the corner. In the corner, a blood-stained tablecloth covered something. The crazy woman looked solemn and reached out to the tablecloth. The Mediterranean was terrified. Under the tablecloth, but no, this is definitely a dead end. Mediterranean gritted his teeth and shook his head violently. The strength of the two is not small, and this time they directly tore off a piece of the Mediterranean scalp. However, compared with life, what is the scalp? After the Mediterranean escaped, he immediately rushed towards the gate. There are only 2 cabinets left, and you can escape with just 2 kicks. Mad women are not chasing the Mediterranean. She felt the familiar scent under the tablecloth. The blood-stained hand slowly lifted the stinky tablecloth. Child! My child! The crazy woman screamed in the sky. Under the tablecloth, a zombie baby lay quietly there. He wears a dog collar and a rope around his neck, and it looks like he was used as a dog by the survivors to play with. He also had some glass bottle fragments stuck in his head. It is estimated that he was smashed to death by a wine bottle. Judging from the color of the blood stains, it shouldn't take long for the child to die, maybe last night. Otherwise, the body would have been cleaned up by them long ago. The mad woman sat on the spot, her body trembling constantly. Her eyes are getting more and more terrifying, and the color of her pupils is also changing rapidly. Silver, turned directly into gold. It hasn't stopped. In the middle of the golden pupils, a circle of red suddenly fainted. Blood-red pupils. The crazy woman's hair began to grow wildly, and her nails instantly grew by more than 10 centimeters. A dangerous and powerful aura continued to emanate from her. She directly broke through to the level of advanced mutant zombies. My child. The mad woman, with red eyes, picked up the child's body. Get back to my body, my child. The mad woman began to bite frantically, and quickly ate the body of her child. Next, it's time for blood debt to be repaid. The mad woman walked out of the shop and into the street. A screeching sound resounded through the old town. All the zombies in a few blocks stopped and looked in the direction of the crazy woman. This is a voice from a superior. It's a call, it's an order. Even some mutant zombies that are sucking the human brain can't resist the call of the mad woman. Thousands of zombies ran in the direction of the mad woman. Soon, the streets where the mad woman was filled with zombies. The crazy woman stood on the roof of a bus and looked at the zombies around her. There is only one thought in her mind right now. Kill all humans. Kill. The crazy woman yelled with red eyes. Roar. Kill. Ordinary zombies and mutant zombies shouted together. A nimble zombie kept jumping on the street light and landed on the bus where the mad woman was. In his hand, he was also carrying a man with a missing scalp, who was the Mediterranean Sea who had just escaped. I found an awakened nearby. The agile zombies threw the Mediterranean Sea in front of the mad woman. The mad woman looked at the Mediterranean Sea, the killing intent in her eyes became stronger, and her sharp claws stretched a bit. Don't kill me. Turn me into a zombie. I'll be your dog. Just let me live. Ignoring the wound on his scalp, Mediterranean Sea directly kowtowed on the top of the bus. The mad woman stretched out her claws and placed it on Mediterranean's head. The Mediterranean was too frightened to move. SHH. With a single stroke of a mad woman's claws, the skull of the Mediterranean was cut off. The blood-stained brain was directly exposed. This time, it's more like the Mediterranean. Reward you. The mad woman said to the agile zombie who had just caught the Mediterranean. The agile zombie looked honored and went forward to eat it directly. This is an awakened, and eating it can also improve your strength. Moreover, this is a reward from the superior. The mad woman jumped off the bus, took the corpse tide, and began to sweep the city. The end of the month, ask for a monthly pass, ask for a blade. Pie time up. Traveling to the world of tomorrow's arc, Hoshino has a secret. The pink-haired witch dancing with the cherry blossoms in the shrine, the arc of the knife crossed the elegant semicircle, and collided with the legendary dragon-killing knife Chixiao, that is her Hoshino. The white-haired dwarf who wrestled with Huang without falling behind is also her Hoshino. The fairy Chaiwan who negotiated with Nian was still Hoshino. Celebrate, gather the full power of the Valkyrie, the king who surpassed the past and the future, and appears at this moment. For enemies beyond expectations, Hoshino will always have only one sentence. It's better to use this card against you. The Yaesakura of tomorrow's arc. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 140. Me-26 Transport Aircraft. Tang Tang is actually very interested in flying helicopters and has been studying hard in the cockpit. This made Wang Ran a little uncomfortable. But fortunately, we will soon reach our destination. Looking down from the plane, the situation in J City is not very good. There are ruins everywhere on the ground. On the roofs of many high-rise buildings, distress signals such as SOS and 995 are written in various paints. Wang Ran's helicopter gave many people hope. They desperately waved to the helicopter from the roof, hoping to attract attention and be saved. They were trapped for over a week and finally saw the helicopter. The hope of life was instantly ignited. But Wang Ran ignored him. These people are not related to him, and they have to save their minds. You know, the fuel consumption of the helicopter is related to the load. If you pull these people on the plane, you will waste fuel for no reason. Moreover, in the current world, if you bring them on the plane, 100% of them will have the idea of snatching the plane. Therefore, in order to avoid these troubles, Wang Ran chose to ignore them all. You are so cold-blooded. Lu Shiyao muttered to the side. As a national civil servant and researcher, she still has strong sympathy for these survivors. Why, sympathy overflows. How many people in the city are crying for help? Do you think I can be saved? And, even if I put them on the plane, where do I take them? Don't think that I will bring people back to my base casually. Besides, do you think they'll thank you for saving them? Wang Ran smiled lightly. Why don't people thank you for saving people? Lu Shiyao was a little dazed. She is good at academic research, but doesn't know much about people's hearts. Especially people in this environment. How about I make a bet with you? Wang Ran smiled. Bet? How? Lu Shiyao was stunned. I'll save a wave of people at random. If they stay on the plane for 10 minutes, you win. If they act aggressively, what if I win? Wang Ran asked with a smile. Okay. Just bet. What about the bet? Lu Shiyao is still very confident in herself. After all, she felt that human nature was good. How could someone take revenge for kindness? If you win, I will personally you to Baidu. If I win, don't leave, stay at my base and give me a full-time job for 3 months. How? Wang Ran asked. The base has finally come to a technical talent, or a top researcher specializing in biology and viruses, which is much more valuable than those who can repair computers in the last days. However, a person with patriotic feelings like Lu Shiyao would definitely not be able to keep her if she was forced to stay. The bet is different, let her swear in the name of the country, and don't worry about her going back. If Wang Ran is unlucky and loses. If you lose, find a zombie to scratch her. When the time comes, give her some more blood, and she will be as loyal as Momo and Xiao. Of course, Wang Ran didn't want to do it unless he had to. After all, if you become a zombie, I don't know if your IQ will be lowered. Xiao and Momo both look stupid and cute. It's not clear whether it's because they were not smart before or because they became zombies. 3 months. Lu Shiyao's heart began to tangle. The conditions given by Wang Ran can be said to be very attractive. Send her to Baidu in person. With Wang Ran's strength, it can definitely be done. However, if you lose, you have to stay here for 3 months. 3 months. Judging from the current situation, Baidu would definitely not be able to build a city-level survivor camp within a few months. It is estimated that it will be a few months before they can find someone to pick them up. 3 months is 3 months. Anyway, as long as there is enough equipment, it is possible to continue research in Wang Ran's base. Okay, I promise you. Lu Shiyao nodded heavily. Wealth and wealth are in danger, whether you can return to the northern capital immediately depends on this one. She believes that human nature is inherently good, and those who survive will definitely cherish the hard-won safety more. Wang Ran smiled, and Lu Shiyao walked into her own routine. Then it's time to filter the targets. Through the window, Wang Ran glanced at the nearby roof with his extraordinary eyesight. A high-rise building caught Wang Ran's attention. On the roof, the dark red SOS is particularly eye-catching. It was probably written in blood. That's it? Jiaxin, go to the building with the brown exterior. You don't have to land on the roof. I'm afraid that the quality of this building will not be able to hold up. Just hover on the roof. Wang Ran ordered. Okay. Wu Jiaxin nodded, without questioning Wang Ran's order. Mi-26 soon came to the top of the building. At the top of the building, there are 6 survivors, 5 males and 1 female. When they saw the helicopter coming, they jumped up excitedly. In their opinion, this is a rescue helicopter. Wang Ran opened the hatch and put down a rope ladder. The 6 survivors quickly climbed up. Wang Ran put away the rope ladder and closed the hatch. The 6 survivors breathed a sigh of relief. You can imagine how difficult it was to survive during this time. After getting on the plane, they could finally disarm themselves. Ah, thank you. Are you from a rescue agency? A man in a suit wiped the sweat from his forehead and said. He was estimated to be a high-level white-collar worker before, and even if it was Doomsday, he still carried an elite temperament. We were just passing by, and we just saved you. Wang Ran said while drinking Coke. Belch. After drinking too much Coke, Wang Ran couldn't help but hiccup. This hiccup made the 6 survivors swallow their saliva. Coke. Before the end, this is junk food high in sugar and calories. Now what? It is simply the water of life. They stared straight at the Coke in Wang Ran's hand. Obviously, they all want to drink. Sorry, just a bottle of Coke. After Wang Ran finished speaking, he drank it all. The 6 survivors smiled awkwardly. Just one bottle, it is reasonable for people to hide and drink it. After all, he saved himself. At this time, Wang Ran took out another bottle of Sprite. Just took it out of the small refrigerator on the plane, bright and cool. The sound of Sprite's opening made the survivors lick their lips. This is a bit too much.